to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, Joyce.
Mrs. Casio?
Here.
Mr. Ranieri?
Here.
Mr. Lowenstein?
Here.
Mr. Farrell?
Here.
Mrs. Kelly?
Here.
Mr. Wood?
Here.
Mr. Bayshore?
Here.
And Mr. Wright is here.
And Mike will be a few minutes late.
I thought I saw Rich out in the hall.
Yeah.
Yes, he is.
Is he out in the hall?
Public notice of this meeting pursuant to the Open Public Meetings Act has been given by the clerk in the following manner. 1, posted on the bulletin board in the Borough Clerk's office on January 5th, 2016, and 2, emailed to the Retrospect and Courier Post on January 5th, 2016. New business, which is up for discussion for our council meeting on April 5th. Resolution to purchase paper through county co-op. Introduction of ordinance for boarding up structures and fire damaged buildings. Resolution to adjust sewer charges. Raffle for lawn festival in June. Discussion of towing bid. Resolution transferring property maintenance charge to correct block and lot. Resolution transferring the tax payment to sewer account.
So the ordinance is boarding up structures and fire damage buildings.
Yeah.
Did Fred give you that?
I did some rough drafting, I heard it.
This is the one that Fred gave. You didn't get this?
Did you get, oh, I'm sorry. Did you
Well,
get
maybe not
anything?
somebody else.
This is from Pennsylvania.
Did you get anything from board?
We're gonna make a copy of this?
You can make a copy, I think I have it, but I mean, if we're gonna do one, we're gonna need more time than 2 weeks to put it together, so, but we could talk about it next time. I just wanted to know. Yeah, and then Rich Bay and I had a chance, so when we were actually Rich, the mayor, and myself, and some other people here, we're at Connor Strong did a presentation about the whole insurance thing, and so I went because I thought it would be good information for me to have, considering what I do for a living. I was sitting with the guy from Monroe, and also the DA from Gloucester City, so somehow we get into this conversation about that issue. So I said, well, the county did this, and they had this whole shared services thing, and we passed the ordinance, we have this, and so I said, so I said to the guy, my buddy from Gloucester, I said, see if he'll get sent. So he sent it all to him, he sent it to me, I sent it to Rich. So it's a little more involved than what we've looked at, so it's worth looking at though.
We can take parts of it?
Yeah, and the short story, and then I'll get off this because we'll talk about it more. Well, we'll talk about it in 2 weeks. But what they do is they have basically an outside contractor who does that stuff. Who takes the responsibility, they get a fee, which we get the lien and all that stuff we can do, but they do it, and they're used to doing it, so they know how to get to the right people at the banks and all that stuff. So, okay, that's always been our disconnect, like who do we get to at the bank, right? Well, this company, that's what they do, so it may be worth looking at.
Did you forward that information to Rich?
Yes.
Rich will talk to me about that later?
Yes, I got it, I was at the seminar.
But
so-
excuse me, Len, that's not what this is. This is to alleviate the problem that the fire department has when they are at a fire and everybody comes from using their scanners, shows up to want to be the one to board up. That's what
Right,
this is.
I apologize, you're right, that's
Yeah.
what that is, so just make a copy for me.
Okay, I'll send it to
We'll
you
look at
tomorrow.
that, because we talked about this before, about having,
Correct. They have to register.
have to be pre-registered and
Correct.
so on and so forth, but I'll look at her.
All right, so that's not what that's not what you're
Yeah,
talking
you're right, I
about. This is
apologize, I
something else.
misread.
Okay.
Never mind.
But thank you.
Yeah.
And we will do
We
that.
will have to do that, we will.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, any discussion on the towing bid?
Oh, Bernie has submitted all his paperwork, and I reviewed it, Vinnie reviewed it, and between Bernie and Peter Booker, we are awarding, or we want to award to Bernie. We recommend that the resolution be made to award the towing ordinance to Bernie for this year.
Then I'm gonna work on,
So, no, go ahead.
then I'm gonna work on amending the towing ordinance so that we're gonna go out in the future for
3 years.
Or up to 3 years.
Yeah.
But if, for right
But
now.
right now, for
it's-
16,
it's-
the current ordinance, why is that so hard? Allows us only to do it.
1 year.
So this year's gonna be 1 year.
1 year, and I'll do an amendment to the ordinance, which we'll address somewhere in the next few months. We'll adopt it, and then when we start in 17, we can make it 3 years.
Okay, so that'll be for 2017.
So we'll have a resolution appointing
Okay, okay, all right, that sounds good.
Bernie's term.
Okay, do we want to go around the table and, you know, you can briefly give a report, because I'd really like to have a report for Nick back at the council, so if you want to have anything to say. Bob, we'll start with you.
Sure, just, buildings are down next door.
Amen.
What building?
Looking good, and,
Amen.
we had a meeting with Mark and Steve yesterday, and, we'll go into a little more detail, everything that's going on. Other than that,
Okay.
What is the timeframe to start the parking lot?
Mark,
Mark will address that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because,
Okay, Eleanor?
yes, yeah, everybody's excited about it. I just received a quote this morning on the 2 new interceptors. It's a little over $64,000 for the brand new 2015s. They're fully equipped, all badged, everything will be ready to go. And hopefully, I'm praying that we'll have delivery in April.
Vehicle number 1, which is already in the budget right now, will be more than likely in early May.
Early May.
Early May.
They do have the vehicle, but in order for, you know, it's one thing to have it, it's another thing to have the lights on, the radios, the lettering, so it'll be ready for the street. And I hate putting numbers out there because if the vendor gets a hiccup, but if everything goes according to plan, then that should be on patrol by May 15th.
Early May.
I think
What?
we've been with you for April.
said 60.
What,
Well, you know, I'm always pushing.
That's for vehicle number 1, which was already in process. Vehicle number 2 will be part of the bond ordinance that gets introduced, and that one's probably end of summer. So that was the one that,
August?
yeah, there's a little bit more entailed to that because it takes 2 readings plus 20 days before the bond ordinance can even be spent against. So they're not gonna let anybody else have our vehicle, but that one's more of a funding issue, and we were originally gonna buy one, but
It wasn't in the budget.
we're looking at the, because, well, there's 2 things we're looking at right now. One is with all the projects going on in town, the administrative fee, which is $15 per vehicle per hour, it's going to help us to be able to fund that second vehicle. So we're looking at the funding source, but I just think it's safe to, just so everyone has
Wait till
realistic
August.
expectations, that's
Wait till
end of
August.
summer for that one.
what packages are gonna be on them? Would you know?
Yes.
Package A.
Package A?
It's gonna be great.
It looks like the ones we have
We're gonna
now.
have video cameras, everything.
Okay.
Yeah, the chief is going to send me the detail of what's in each one, because we tweaked it a little bit, so he's going to send that.
Just as long as Mr. Daly's happy, that's all.
So when they come from Winter Ford, they're completely done, ready to go?
Not 100%. We have the radios, now, we have radios, newer radios in the car, so he's assessing which radio will get turned over, things of that nature.
Yeah, we can switch sometimes,
Okay.
which cut costs.
Okay, sounds good. Craig?
So that's the story with the cars. And as far as the fire department, I'm meeting with them, and they're gonna be looking at their 5-year plan. John, that's this week, yes, Wednesday at
11
11 o'clock. So I don't have anything at this point in time, but I will the next, probably at the next meeting.
Do you have anything else? Because I know you can't make the council meeting.
I can't make the council
Do you
meeting.
want to say anything about the rabies clinic now, or do you have anything?
You can talk about
Okay.
that, because the rabies clinic was very
Yeah,
successful.
it was.
We did 103 shots. So 103 animals,
Lots of donations. It was a really good,
$141 in donations.
That's pretty good.
All kinds of other donations.
which I just took today to the Camden County Animal Shelter, so it was a great day. It was a great
Great.
day.
Thank you, Thank you, Harry, for letting your guys stay.
Harry's over there.
Work out
That's
there
not
it
Harry.
is. Oh,
Harry's over there. That's Dave Evangelist.
Hank was great.
you're usually
Yeah.
sitting over there.
Okay, Craig, any?
The only thing I have is, Dave is here from softball. We're gonna get together with Harry at some point and explain what's going on with the process of us taking care of the softball fields and things like that. I used to be part of softball for a long time, and we used to do everything on our own down there. And we need to keep Dave informed, since he's the president down there, of what is going on as far as the borough what the borough's gonna be doing. You know, are we doing everything from soup to nuts, whatever, we need to let him know, and when we're gonna, I know Harry said he got an April 9th date from Mike Root, but is it gonna be sooner or less than?
Oh, softball is the same time as R1?
We don't know. It's changed because Volts now, middle school, is having softball. And they had a game today, so I moved everything up kind of, I went down there, they did a lot of work. But we wanna let Dave know what's going on at some point soon, so that he has a hard and fast, he can tell his guys what's going on, and then we can go from there. Does that sound good to you, Dave, or?
Yeah, I'd like to find out what.
Come on, real quick, and we'll get him out of here.
Yeah, I'd like to find out.
Yeah, wait.
Come on up here, up to the microphone, and your name and address, Dave.
Name and address.
Dave Evangelist, 587 Sherrington Lane, Runnemede, New Jersey. Okay?
Thanks.
Besides what Craig said, the date moving up because of the voltage utilizing the fields now. Normally, we don't turn the water on until first week April, end of March, because we don't have broken pipes. But we start to, with the fields, we start to do the work on inside the buildings, but fix the toilets. We have a pipe leak from last year when we shut off, we found one. Got to remove all the leaves from the fields. So that was stuff that I thought was going to happen. Hopefully, trees were supposed to be cut back. We have trees that were hanging the fences. This way, a big branch won't fall down on a girl playing ball out there. We have one overhanging the scoreboard still. So that's what I was looking for, to find out, since we're partnering with the borough now. Right, we did last year. And so we're just trying to figure out what is the timeline, what do we have to do compared to what the borough has to do.
I have to click, if the borough can't do it in a reasonable time, we get somebody that can go out and get it done.
Well,
Cut the trees back.
I don't know.
We can just chime in on that
Yeah.
part. The borough is the borough, so whether it's in-house or external, it would still flow through Harry, and he's looking at his timeline, so if his staff can't do that, or if we don't have the equipment to be up in the trees, then he will coordinate through to the contractor to do the work. So, and I
What's the
think what we're
timeline for
looking
that?
for, and I'll just throw this out there, because we're kind of hitting the ground running with this, and we also want to be able to time future periods.
Yes.
So I'm looking for at least a quarterly meeting where we sit down with, and everybody shares the next quarter, what's going on, so that we have timelines, so that we're not coming, well, we got 2 weeks to get it done. It's like, then we'll have 8 weeks, and we'll know what needs to be done. So we're looking to be proactive going forward.
Understood, and a wish list was given to,
Right,
a wish list was given out last year, of things we asked to get done.
right.
So the previous years, we would take 2,500 on stipend and do everything ourselves.
Correct.
So this is the third year in a row we got the stipend, so we're like, okay, what's going to get done?
And we're,
I know,
I sent an email out to our
the
team
season
that
speaks
we're-
up only because, we got snow, a storm occasionally coming in here, next thing you know, we can't do the fields. But, that's what we need to sit down and discuss to find out when we can do this stuff.
Right. So we have new management on Public Works. This is the first season that we have it.
Okay?
So we'll get all that list, and again, we'll get the stuff done now that needs to be done, but the
Yeah,
work
well,
will be for future
like I said,
periods.
with Volts now playing softball and playing baseball. I
Mr.
mean,
DeAngelis, who did you give the wish list to?
Evangelist, yeah.
Evangelist.
Yeah,
Yeah, who'd you give it to?
Mike Root.
Mike would,
Mhm.
We'll take it.
Okay.
Okay? Thank you.
Yeah, so- no, that's it, I just wanted to get you in.
Right, we just want to find out, like tractors or whatever it is to get fixed, or, because last year we purchased the line, and we heard RY got it, great, So it's just stuff like that that we just need out communication, that's like,
Okay,
all right?
We'll make sure that you have.
we'll get together soon.
Okay?
All right, have a great day.
All right,
All right,
thank you.
thanks, Steve.
thank you, Dave.
I'm gonna, everything else Harry's gonna go over. We agreed, since Harry is here at the caucus meetings, he's gonna get the list of stuff, and then at council level, all that stuff.
Thank you, Madam
You're on,
President.
you're on. Thank you.
Yes. We are still operating our temporary budget. Our 2016 budget process is still underway. Our 2016 budget will be introduced on April 5th. And I just wanted to mention a few things that I've been talking to Rich about. Rich, Joyce, and the office personnel have been working on a few items that we're going to be asked to possibly vote on, and we should just know what's going on. This is the first year that we need to be in compliance with the Affordable Care Act regarding the majority of our personnel and our insurance and personnel insurance information. Rich can elaborate on that, if anybody, if he'd like to, or maybe has any questions. It's taken up a lot of time, Rich's time in the office. Just something new that we have to do this year, Obamacare.
Does that have to be done every year, or is it just one time?
I think it's
thing?
every year. Every year. Very tedious and time consuming, but you have to do it, unless the policy changes, the regime gets it right. In the near future, we will be asked, council will be asked to pass a resolution stating that our municipal excess liability joint insurance fund, which no one knows about, is in order, up to date, the procedures, training, access to training, information, things along that nature. That's something that we're also working on, is taking up some time, which is to make sure that each department has the right training procedures in place on file, and have been trained. You know, we've been through a few things here, we know that that has to be done right. Rich can elaborate on that if necessary. And the rest is progress. Unless Pat can be talking about Benjamin Franklin.
Oh, we can do that in council.
Okay.
We can do all that.
All right, youth fair council
Yeah.
coming up, Patty and I are working on that, and also Eleanor.
Can I talk a minute?
Rest of progress.
Education.
Yeah, certainly.
One quick thing before we get off mail and council, Mr. Moen contacted me today, was asking about it, the freeholder. And he's gonna send you guys an email about maybe with the council, when is it? He'd like to come since he was a graduate of it. And, but,
I'll touch base.
well, he'll send you an email, or, yeah, reach out to him, yeah. Yeah, he called me up today, so.
Okay, good, good.
Yeah, youth mayor and council, the itinerary was sent to the administration, so they're all on board.
What's the matter, Mike? Oh, well,
And the rest is progress.
can we speak up a little bit louder, please? All right. We're gonna- Yeah.
Okay.
No, not yet.
Oh,
Yeah, not good or welfare yet.
I'm liaison to the Board of Education, and I went to their meeting on Tuesday of last week, on the 15th. And it was very interesting because they announced their budget for the year, and it's going to affect, if your home is worth $100,000, you'll be paying $28 more in taxes. Now, the Black Horse Regional is down 44. So we're actually to the good, because the regional is down 44. Our district is 28. So we're good. We're going to be down, and this is wonderful. I just wanted to let everybody know, if they're going to buy a new bus, they have money to spend over there, and they're going to buy a new bus, a 54-seater, which will take care of the children that have to be bused, that are being bused now. Right now, they're paying $90,000 a year for the third-party service. By buying the bus for $75,000, they will see money in their pocket in 2 years. It'll be good for after-school activities. Right now, we have a little bus, a 30, what is that, 30?
I think it's like a 32.
32, which is good for the children that are displaced. Every year, we had to pay a third party to take children that were displaced to their homes wherever they were living. They were the homeless and they were in shelters, but they were still enrolled in school. So they bought that bus, and it's really saved a lot because they're using it for other things too. So they're going to pay that $75,000, get the new bus, hire a bus driver with the CDL and all the stuff they have to have, and they're gonna look at getting their money back in a couple years. So, I mean, Sean McCarron is very, very aggressive, I have to say that. He's very conscious of the future. And I want to congratulate him on that because he has been really on top of stuff, looking at ways they can save money.
Sounds like someone else.
Okay, thank you, Eleanor. Lauren, do you want to, sorry.
Thank you, Madam President. I submitted my report in writing in an email yesterday, but in order, I'll go over that more in depth at the council meeting.
Yeah.
But, yes, I think so.
Should be. You have to kind of eat it.
But to answer Councilwoman Kelly's question about the parking lot, we're working that parking lot design in conjunction with the safety improvements at Borough Hall here.
ADA improvements.
And-
So it's gonna be one project, is that right?
It's going to be two separate projects, we're just designing them concurrently.
All right.
Whatever we do for the parking lot, we have to keep in mind what we're doing at Borough Hall.
Correct.
And right now that we have a field survey, we've ran into a slight problem in that to get ADA access between the new parking lot, the lower level by the clerk's area, and this level, we would have to build a switchback ramp where you would have to ramp up, turn around, and come back. In order to do that, we'd have to build a retaining wall. And the problem with doing that is in the future, when we go to put the addition that has the elevator in at this facility, we would be ripping out that retaining wall. So it doesn't make sense to be spending money on infrastructure that hopefully within the next 3 or 4 years, we would be taking out. So we're looking at a different solution, so it's just put us back a little bit. One thing that's being considered right now is to move forward with the installation of the elevator. And that's something the Finance Committee is looking at right now. We're still moving forward with the plans for the parking lot, but we're trying to keep in mind what has to happen with this building. But the intent is to get plans done, submitted to DOT, because we have to get an access permit to get the entrance and exit out onto the pipe. In the meantime, we'll get the plan and specs finalized and get it ready to bid. As soon as we get concurrence from DOT, we will go out to bid. We're hoping this all happens in April and May, but we can't guarantee it. We cannot hold the DOT to a time frame. But that is the intent right
So
now.
before we can get the bids to go out to finish the parking lot, we have to wait for DOT?
Correct. Because we're trying to get an entrance out onto the pipe so we can have a more visible means to get to Borough Hall.
What's the conclusion of the raising the buildings, fence that was all out, was done, so we filled?
The question was asked, what's going to happen once the buildings are taken down?
What do we have?
The next phase of this is there's some concrete out there. They are going to be crushing any concrete and backfilling the basement areas. And then anything that's not, the intent is to get it back up to grade where it was before. So they'll be importing some fill and getting it compacted so it's ready for the parking lot to go. But basically, it's going to be a stone and gravel area until we go out to bid. It'll be level with the existing sidewalk that's out there.
And will that be roped off or opened?
It's going to be open.
Actually, when it gets to us, when it's turned over from the vendor, we will have a temporary fence around there that's a little better than the one that's there now, and it will have like the meshing around it so that it doesn't look like junk.
Gotcha. Okay, thank you.
Thank you very
So,
much.
so
Thank you.
what are we looking at for completion on this? If the DOT responds, say by May or June, we're looking maybe in September?
Yeah, that would be the goal, yes. Yeah, Rich was hoping we'd be done by July with his taxes, but that's a little aggressive. We would love to be done by then, but that,
It just, everything takes so long.
into the world of construction.
Yes,
Yes, it does.
it does.
Can you share what did Steve say? He said there's 3 prongs to construction. He said there's fast, there's,
Yeah, fast, cheap,
and quality or something. He said you can only have 2 of the 3, or whatever. So if you want fast, you're not going to get quality. So,
or if you want fast and quality, it's going to cost a lot of money. But part of the holdup is with the DOT. We're trying to get the permits in as fast as we can, but we need a little bit more than just a concept to go to them. We don't need full design plans, but right now with this sidewalk issue, we're pushing the parking lot as close to First Avenue as your ordinances allow, and we're going from there. And we're looking to be submitting to DOT hopefully next week.
Access will, where's the access to the parking lot? What street will have access? Will the Black Horse Pike have access?
That's what we're trying for through the DOT, if they'll allow,
And will there be another access point?
off of First Avenue where the driveway
That,
was.
that's a one-way street,
That's correct.
so you would come out and make a right.
That's correct.
Could you come in first and go into the parking lot? That would be okay too. So there's really actually two access points.
Yes, you just can't be coming.
What's the problem with the Black Horse Pike entrance? What do you,
We have to get approval from the DOT to allow
The
it.
state road.
They,
They
yeah,
don't do anything without DOT.
they may only allow a right turn in and a right turn out. We're trying to get a full access where you can turn left out of that parking lot. They may not allow that because it's a proximity to Clements Bridge Road traffic signal. So they may not allow that left out, but we have to get approval to do anything. And that's what we're going to be submitting to DOT.
They probably won't allow. It's gonna be all right.
The rest, I'll just go over to the council meeting unless anybody else has any questions.
All right, I appreciate that, Mark. Glenn?
I just, we got an exec for 10 minutes for negotiation update.
Okay, all right. Harry, anything that you want to discuss?
Madam President, thank you, council. Let's see, just for Public Works, just an overview, we've been out on Mondays and Tuesdays doing yard waste collections just because of the nice weather. We've also had the chipper out and leafer out, so all the equipment's been utilized that way. We did take on the task this week down at the RYA for concrete work. Came out not bad for Public Works guys, first time around, I should say. Could have been a little bit better quality, but it meets all the requirements. You know, we don't have to tear it out, so it's good for there, but it also fixes the problem. In front of the one bleacher off of Elm Street.
Oh.
Okay, we're finalizing that. We've got another little section before that will be accomplished probably in the next 2 weeks.
But these are the new bleachers, the ADA bleachers?
Yes. Yep, so we're making them adequate and up to code. DPW, we're still ongoing with renovations down there. The lunchroom, bulk of the lunchroom is redone, painted through the floor. We can get some, we'll be in the process of some new furniture. And then this next 2 weeks, we'll actually be working on 2 offices. So that's,
It's nice.
I'm
We have
impressed.
to come and visit.
Yes.
You said that you weren't going down there. Our goal is to have you come.
yeah.
So.
Okay.
We just
Uh,
want to come.
should
Coffee
have,
would be nice.
Belmar Public Works, did an interlocal with them, they'll be doing concrete work to the front and rear of the building. That should be starting in 2 to 3 weeks. Of course, we had this last storm hit us this past weekend, we really didn't get much here, but we did have the brine truck out,
Yes.
salt trucks, and hopefully we can put them away for the season. But we're prepared for anything else that might sneak up on us.
Very good, Harry.
Majority of the trucks have the new decal, the brand of the Borough Runnemede on them. Some of the larger trucks, we're still working with the graphic guy to finalize them, the trash trucks and the street sweeper. They should be finished within the next 2 weeks, all the branding of the trucks.
Now, are the trucks all gonna be green and white, or what?
No, they're keeping the same color that they are, the red and the blue, but we just changed the branding with the green Borough Runnemede and so forth.
If we buy anything new, will it be white?
Yes. That is correct.
Do you have any plans for anything new?
We have plans for a lot of them.
I haven't heard anything, that's what I'm
It's-
saying.
It's coming up in the budgetary with Mr. Wright. We have to finalize a few things.
He's been
Right.
talking, you weren't here.
We have a few items that we'll be hopefully seeking for 2016 and 17 with a 5-year plan.
Don't ask him any more if
Thank-
he's being.
Yep.
Thank you.
Excellent. I was discussing yesterday with Mark, Greg, and Patty about Hill Avenue, that you had spoke to them about asphalting that.
Yes, we're in the negotiations with the contractor doing Clements Bridge Road, South State. They needed a staging area for doing the work on Clements Bridge Road itself. So we I met with the vice president out there and his superintendent. What we're trying to work on is they're willing to pave Hill Avenue from the back of the rear of the building, I should say driveway entrance to Clements Bridge Road, and then patch the backfill with cold patch and millings, and then clean up the ballpark in the back there, the soccer field area, in lieu of paying any money, they would do that. The key with it is the only the financial is they're willing to eat the work, the labor, and the machinery. We would just have to pay for the material itself. I got a cost estimate of $4,500 to $5,500 for the material.
This is for Hill Avenue.
For Hill Avenue. With that, we got to come up with a couple of agreements and so forth, pass them, get them approved through council and so forth. For that, it will be in writing.
That's a great deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically, they have to leave it better than they found, because
Yeah.
their trucks going up and down are gonna make it
Yeah.
worse than it is
We
right
have a
now.
lot.
We didn't believe you. You told us that figure and we didn't believe
They said,
it.
sure it's not 55,000? They said,
No, 4,500, they're charged, they own their own asphalt plant. So
Oh.
we're getting in at their cost.
Okay.
That's all we have to pay, is the cost of the material.
I spoke to Mr. Wood on Friday, so he's gonna help us pen the memorandum.
You did great.
Okay.
Oh, that's what we got to do.
Yeah. Right away.
That's great.
They're storing their equipment on the old hockey field in back.
Yeah.
And I've had residents, I can see that from my house, and I've had residents say, what is all that equipment? I tell them, we're redoing Clemens Ridge Road. You are? Well, sun's up all over the place. I don't know,
They
but,
started in Barrington this week, they're actually going to be here in Runnemede next week. They got a lot of drainage work that they're doing first. Drainage, then water line, then they're doing the top curb gutter and the road
Yeah,
surface.
they had Gloucester County.
Yeah, this is great. Yeah, this is good. Rich, anything? Are you done? I'm sorry.
Thank you for your time.
Okay. Rich?
In addition to the budget, which is an ongoing process with both the capital and the operating side, we reported previously about our interlocal with the Board of Education for Information Technology. We are in the transition phase right now because we have an outside vendor that we use for the Borough side. I spoke with the gentleman today. They will continue to do the police side because it's very specific and they've been doing it for 5 years and they know our police department. So we're not going to touch that with the interlocal. We'll be looking to transition in the near future, but not immediately, to an email system other than our Outlook 365 that we have. So we're going to go month to month on that right now. And we have 64 users right now that basically include board members, council members, and key employees. We're looking to hopefully for about the same price, do like a Google email type product, which also has the Google Documents out on the web for about the same price and have that for all employees. So the EMTs, the crossing guards, the code enforcement, everybody would have, if you're an employee, you're going to have email. And so we're progressing with that. We're going to have a meeting with the vendor and the transition team so that they're all on the same page in the coming weeks. So that's happening right now as we speak. That ties into the next issue because John touched on the EPLs or the employment liability practices. There's changes that are made. This thing doesn't seem to be right. Okay. There's changes that were made that in order for us to certify in October of this year, we have to change our policy. So we're doing a full review in the process. And we're going to have to be able to communicate with employees. We're going to have to be able to have training and notification. So that the email ties into that, having all of our employees able to do email. And I just want to give you a couple examples of what's new and what the impact is. So if we comply with the standard practices, if we have an occurrence or an event of something that happens, our deductible is basically 20,000 plus a percentage of copay. If we don't choose to do this because we're not required to, it's 100,000 per occurrence. So the difference is basically 80,000 per occurrence, and there's a $50,000 cap per occurrence if you follow the rules. So they make it very beneficial to follow the compliance rules. So there's items that have changed this year that we need to update our policies for, and we're in the process of doing a full policy manual review. We need to make modifications to the anti-discrimination policies. We need to make modifications to social media policies. We need to make modifications to our employee dating policies and how it relates to supervisors and reporting to human resources. We need to basically modify Open Public Meetings Act procedures concerning personnel matters. Change 6 is related to a ban on box legislation, which I'll have to report back to you on that one because I don't know what that one is. And then the SEPA notice, there's a notice change, which is employees basically have to know who to contact for complaints. We have the posters in all the departments. But each year, we need to confirm going forward that we give a copy to every employee and document that it's received. So there's some specific things that we have to document. They have to be in the employee files, so we're going to be examining all the employee files going forward to make sure after we have the checklist together, that we have the documents. So, and I will say this, we had an issue in one of our departments last year that resulted in a disciplinary action, and I think it was a compliment to the borough, because the union rep from Philly comes over and he said at the hearing, he said, you know, everybody has trainings, because I deal with this all the time. He said, Runnemede's the only place that actually has them in the employee files, you know, that can actually produce them at the hearing. And that's because of the, you know, the issues we had in the past down there, we focused that, so we want to make sure that same focus goes throughout the whole borough, so that if we run into issues, that we have our coverage in place. So
How often does this have to be done? Every year? Every 2 years?
it's specific, well, every year, I believe, the council certifies that we did the actual,
Best practices thing.
that you signed a resolution saying that we comply with the EPAs. So it's just that there are some changes this year that we actually have to incorporate into the policy manual. So since we're going to look at it, we're looking at the whole.
When was the last time we updated the policy manual?
Each time something happens, I think this was on the best practices checklist. I think it was the end of 2013.
I think you
Something
did.
like
I
that.
think it was around
So
there.
that was the last time there was a big change that needed to be put in.
So that was 2.5, 3 years ago.
Right. So now they have
I
new
guess
stuff
it's
out there.
fine.
So when will all this be put together and put in?
The deadline is October 18th for council to act and to submit the form,
Okay.
which is why we're hot and heavy on it now. So we're not waiting until last minute.
Okay.
All right?
Mike, do you have anything you want to just?
Parks and Recs, everything's, everything's going good for the spring. All the fields are done. Sun Viking came out and redid all the fields, cut and added dirt. They look great. Kids are starting to play. And we're just, working with the streets department to get stuff done. Harry's been great. And hopefully we just keep moving through the spring and summer. And rest is progress.
Hey, that sounds great. Anybody else? Did I
I'd like to
forget anybody?
One thing. I'd just like to mention that we're working on a newsletter, spring, summer newsletter. And we're going to highlight Harry.
Yes, we should.
Everybody's asking about him, everybody wants to meet him, even our police department, fire department, they're like, when am I gonna meet this guy? I might go see him. But I need to get a picture from you, okay?
Have you met the chief?
I'll make you take one.
Yeah, the chief wants to meet you.
Well, yeah,
So-
he knows it.
Yeah. The guys in the police department. And all I have to say is, public events, we just set a date for youth mayor and council, which will be May 7th, the week of May 7th. There's a lot of things that are going on right now, and I'll discuss everything, I guess. We do have, Triton does have a dinner and a show for the seniors, which is going to be on April 11th. Oh, it's April 7th, you're absolutely correct. It's April, because I just sent you the email, I sent you the flyer. Yeah, and I'm sorry, it is, it's Wizard of Oz. So in our transit, our bus will be picking up the seniors at the Runnemede House as soon as we get a nice number. Everything else I'll discuss at the council meeting. Joyce, is there anything that you want to discuss, anything?
I just want to let everyone know that the homestead rebate adjusted bills went out yesterday and today. They were already been applied to the second quarter, and it's based on the 2013 income tax returns. Financial disclosure statements will be due April 30th. I redid the roster.
Yeah, do you have the code?
Not yet. You can't, well, I mean, it's the same as last year.
It's
But
same
you can't
as-
go on until April the 1st, after
Okay.
April 1st.
Okay.
But it's
You'll
been,
let- you'll
it's
let us
updated.
know.
I added the new people, took off the people that no longer apply.
Okay.
And just so you know, that's coming up soon.
And everything will be just like it was last year, right?
Correct.
Easy.
I just want to mention that the RYAA opening day for baseball is April 9th at, if we're at the, if anybody wants to participate, at 11 o'clock at the fields,
11 o'clock.
or if you want to walk, 10 o'clock at Volts to walk through the parade. And girls softball still doesn't have an opening day yet. They'll come up with that in the meeting. Hopefully I'll have that for the council meeting on the 5th, I think is right. That's it.
You can communicate with Dave on that.
Yeah, he said he'll let me know as
Yeah.
soon as the
Okay.
meeting's done.
And that's the same day as the Women's Club flea market, so.
Can I say one thing?
Yeah, sure.
I just think we should bring back the parade down the pike for the opening day of the teams. You know, the softball and the baseball could walk down the pike from Gardner's back down to the fields like they used to. It'd be a tremendous thing. We lost that a few years ago, and it's just not the same walking from Volts to the fields. And I know there's a lot of ramifications to it, but I'm telling you, the kids just absolutely loved it when it happened. And my two kids, when it stopped, they're going, what's this? We're walking from Volts to the school, the field?
Yeah.
I know there's a lot to it,
Yeah,
so.
we definitely couldn't do it this year because we have to get a permit from the DOT.
Yeah,
And I know that because of the 4th of July parade. So, you know, maybe we'll consider it for next year.
many other towns do it. Blackwood Pike, Horse Pike is closed down in Clementon, down in there and stuff,
It's an
so.
honor, yeah.
Place was
And,
fabulous.
and they're all, and they're absolutely welcome in the 4th of July parade. We love to see them all,
Oh,
4th of July parade. So-
okay, thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so I guess this portion of the, oh, sorry, Rich, go ahead.
I'm sorry, there was something that I had missed on. Our contact person up at the Division of Justice is changing, and we have a 2-week period, and she's transitioning now. So we had something that Joyce wanted to know if I could wait until April 5th, and I would like a resolution by title only tonight, if it's okay. That would be a resolution approving participation with the State of New Jersey in Safe and Secure Communities Program administered by the Division of Criminal Justice. So basically, it's a resolution to participate in the Safe and Secure Program.
Safe and secure.
Safe and secure program.
So who wants to make a motion to make a resolution for
I'll make that
safe and
motion
secure?
for us to participate in the safe and secure program.
Who wants to second it?
I'll second it.
Okay, Eleanor made the motion, John seconded the motion.
What resolution number is that?
I have no idea.
She has no idea.
It's
a roll call. I mean, it's not a roll call.
You have to, did we get money out of this, though?
Oh, we get money?
It's a grant.
Oh, it's a roll call.
Okay.
That's why he's.
Ms. Passio?
Yes.
Mr. Ranieri?
Yes.
Mr. Valenstein?
Yes.
Mr. Farrell?
Yes.
Mrs. Kelly?
Yes.
And Mr. Rudy?
Yes.
Six ayes.
I have one other item,
Go ahead.
okay? Each council person, I sent you an email, I just want to remind you, for the deadline to get your small statement in for the newsletter.
Okay.
And anything else you want to add, you know.
April 8th.
Is it the 8th?
April
Yeah.
8th.
So please get that in on or before, because we got a lot of work. We got a lot of work to do. It might, I don't want it to end up being a summer and fall, so.
Did you send it to Rich?
No, we got a lot going on.
Are you gonna take his place? You make his statement for him? Okay, so I guess this portion of the meeting is over, and we will take it over to good and welfare. Anybody wishing to speak, please come forward and state your name and your address.
Hi, Patty Adair, 680 First Avenue. I'd just like to thank you all for allowing me to be Clean Communities Coordinator. I went to classes to be a certified coordinator, and I'm so excited for all that we're going to do this year. And also, I'm also a sustainability coordinator. And our first Green Team meeting is Monday night at 7 o'clock upstairs.
John, are you able to attend that meeting on Monday night?
Yes.
I might, I don't.
You might
I
not.
have a,
Well,
I have a
I have-
joint meeting. I have a
I'll make
joint
it,
meeting.
I should be able to make that.
Okay, it's, you're not on the green team, it's for the
Oh,
green
yeah,
team.
oh, okay.
It's for the green team.
Who's on the green team?
You can come,
Yeah,
okay?
I think it's you, great, you, John, and Gregory.
Yeah,
And Harry, maybe?
I have two,
Harry's-
I actually have two viewings on Monday,
You're on the
one in the morning and I have one in the evening, so if I can make it, I will.
Congratulations on your
And John.
certification.
Thank you.
King, yes, congratulations.
I'd also like to thank you all for your time and availability for me to be able to talk to each and every one of you when I need to. Harry, I'll be seeing you a lot. Thank you again.
Anyone, does anyone else wish to come up and speak? Okay, seeing no one. Oh, go ahead. State your
My
name.
name is Michael Simon. I live at 572 Sherburne Lane here in Runnemede. And
Hi, Mike.
what I wanted to say, you'll see me come to these meetings, not to disrupt any meeting. I like who's on council, you do a good job. You know, Rich Wright does an excellent job. They were kidding with me last meeting because I couldn't hear Rich speak.
What was your last name again?
As Simon, S-I-M-O-N. I have no problem spelling it or telling you who I am. I like the people on council. I don't know some of you, so you see me here, it's not to say anything
I'm
bad.
glad I
but-
know you, Mike, because
Well, I know,
you would
I
scare
know
me a
a
little
few
bit.
people, okay. Yeah, they say I'm a little loud. My background is in law enforcement. I was in Philly. I also worked in law enforcement here in Camden. So, what I wanted to say was this. I hate the fact that Runnemede has to be a borough. Borough sounds a little small, but recently you bought a piece of fire equipment and just put it on the table. This is a suggestion. The mayor, he puts a little plaque on the fire truck. I mean, well, council, this is my suggestion. In the future, if you put a plaque on something, can't you please put the mayor's name on top, whoever the mayor may be? I mean, normally, when they do something, they put the mayor's name on top. Now, they put a plaque on the fire truck, and his name is someplace in the middle. I mean, just think about it. No matter where you go, I know in Philadelphia, no matter where you are, I've been outside the city. I used to work accident. I worked all over in the city, so I'm just focusing on one thing because even when I was a detective, I used to go all over. Now, I don't care where I went. The mayor's name, whether it be on a building, on a piece of police equipment, I'm not talking about a police car now. I'm talking about a major piece of equipment, especially in Runnemede. There hasn't been a piece of fire equipment, and I know this for a fact. How do I know it? Simple. My family's been in Runnemede for over 100 years, okay? Now you just go out and you spend money on a fire, which I have, God bless you. I mean, it's a big thing to me, and I'm sure all of you, it's a big thing. You put the mayor's name in the middle of the plaque. You know, if
Did
you're going to...
anybody see this plaque?
I did.
Did
Okay.
you?
If you're going to do something, May, this is still just a suggestion.
Well, they'll take it under consideration.
Yeah.
They'll think about it next time.
Okay, how about a building? If you do a building,
Well,
and also, okay, if this new Cooper building is coming in, how about giving all the council or the people that are involved with it? How
Free
about
healthcare?
the splash pad? How about doing, to show that, you know, that the board's doing something? I mean, maybe you're annoyed with what I'm saying. He seems a little annoyed, I don't know. How about you?
No, I'm
Yeah, talking about you. I mean, how about just looking good? I mean, instead of people saying, what does the board do? What do they act? Nobody comes to the meeting, but yet people behind your back go, oh, what do they do? You know,
You do a lot.
Thanks, Mike.
you know, it's okay.
Thank
Thank
you very
you.
much. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Michael.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it. We'll tell Nick that one too. Okay, seeing no one else wishing to come forward, anyone want to make a
I'll make a motion.
motion to close the meeting? Second that? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
All righty. Okay, so now we're going to go into executive session?
We need a motion to
So we
go
need a-
executive session for 10 minutes for negotiation update, and we're not going to take any action.
I'll make a motion.
Okay. So are we going to stay here? Stay here? Okay. All right, so you have to leave, so, and we're not going to make any